Sanibonani, Dumelang. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 2. Our episode is Mjolo. We are definitely the Unfiltered Youth, and I am Amanda Vilagazi. I'm your host for this episode. So I still have the normal, usual faces. I have Mjolo, I have Nane, and I have Tafatwa. Welcome, guys. I hope you did enjoy the first episode, but don't forget to do the right thing, which is turn on your notification for the next episodes, because we are going to be coming up. Subscribe, like, and share.
And comment.
Okay.
We'll answer.
When?
Next episode.
Okay.
We'll comment.
So we are talking Mjolo. And in this episode, we would like to cover dating as a whole, equally yoked, and sex. Sex, I said it is. Okay. So what a topic, man. I mean, when I thought about it, I was like, how many of us are guilty of dating outside the church?
Me?
Ne?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Hi, guys. Hey.
Definitely.
Hey.
Why is it guilty?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why is it guilty?
Maybe it's coming from the basis of what Ellen G. White says in the book Messages to Young People. She talks about courtship in a proper way. Maybe that's why she's feeling guilty.
Who's feeling guilty?
Who said that?
But she said guilty. You know,
Yeah.
I for myself have dated outside the church. And I won't lie, relationships there are different. And when I dated for the very first time in the church, I thought this guy was a saint. And I realized that he wasn't when he broke my heart.
Saint in the church. For me, I'm at the stage in my life where I will convert my husband to be Adventist.
She's an
Ne.
evangelist.
I am going to convert him because inside I tough.
Hi, Wena.
I
Means tough.
tough.
Kanjan.
The circle's too small.
Yeah. Everybody knows each other. If it's it's too small. I can't. So it's my personal mission.
I think it's all about the idea of finding it okay for someone else to violate you when they don't know God, and the difference when someone violates you when they know God.
What do you
When
mean
you say violate, what do you
That's
mean?
a very dark word.
So hectic.
That's a poor choice of word, ne?
Yeah.
Say intimate, maybe. Become intimate with. Not.
But I feel violated when someone else says to me, I love you, and then break my heart.
No,
It's a violation, Bob.
No, but
Violation of what?
Of my emotions, of my heart.
Okay.
no. But I think the topic of dating outside the church and inside the church, and you say the circle is small. What circle are you looking for if you're looking for one person? If the circle is, or is you've chosen you've gone through the whole circle and you go outside.
I think that's a good question.
We mean the Adventist circle.
Yeah.
But
It's
how
very
does
small.
As in, when we say small, right? Let's say, for example, Amanda dated this gent, right? And then they break up.
Girl
whatever.
code.
Girl code. Not girl code. It's just, let's say, me and Amanda know each other, right? It's weird, man.
How is it weird?
The fact
Girl
that,
code.
Yeah, I think girl code as well. And for me, if you're a person who's out there, right?
Yeah.
And you're friends with a lot of people in the Adventist circle, man, you go and date my ex as my friend. Aye.
After how many years?
Wait, does girl code factor in when it's an acquaintance?
No.
No. Because,
No.
okay.
No,
Because
definitely not.
Then we wouldn't date anyone.
Yes. So it's small, as in all of us are friends in the Adventist world, and then we date each other's exes. It's like, I get it.
People already have a preconceived idea
They have-
about you.
Yes, or because we saw the experience you had with that certain person. We're like, hey, that didn't look pretty.
So what about outside? What makes the circle bigger there? If you have the same group of
in the
friends.
sea.
There's more fish there.
No, it's pretty different outside. I don't
okay.
want to lie. There's a lot of spaces that go when you talk about outside. You talk about work, you talk about school, you talk about a random moment at the mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how big it is.
That's how
your
big it is.
chances are too many.
The
yes,
chances
that's
that I'm going to date Amanda's ex is
Slim.
very slim.
Slim.
But inside the church,
High possibilities.
Oh, okay.
Also squads, hey?
hey,
Like this thing of you date somebody today and then you break up, ne?
Yeah.
And then maybe 2-3 years later you find out they're in the same squad with the new person.
Yeah.
And then it looks like you're a squad
girl.
squad girl.
Yeah, squad
It
girl.
looks like a squad girl. So it looks a little bit tricky.
It looks a bit tricky, but hey,
That's a bit.
it's also a thing. You see, that's the Adventist thing is like that. Like, even if you say you're going to date Bulelo, and then you find that 3 years down the line, like Randy says, Bulelo and Ting are friends, and then it's like,
They're
how?
childhood friends.
How?
But guys,
Kati, what is wrong with that?
no, but like everyone you date is someone's ex though.
Exactly.
It's
even
true.
outside, even more.
But it counts when you know that someone.
Yeah.
Are you
Doesn't
okay to
count
know
when
that?
I don't know you.
Hey. So does it mean you like the person when that person was busy with your friend?
Yeah, you see, that's the things you're gonna
It's
think
those are
about.
the questions that come up.
That's the
yeah.
question that comes. Oh,
Yeah.
so when I'm busy dating this guy, I was in love with him. When you're looking at him like this,
When I'm telling you my problems, when you're plotting your next move.
Like I'm share, girl, I'm share, friend, I'm share.
do you understand? It's
Okay, is there like a time period where I must wait, like if like
Yes.
you Jola Mbulelo, and
You
then
wait like
you
5
guys
months.
break up and we boys?
I think
is there like a time
I
period where I
think
must wait?
it depends on your friendship circle, right? And that's why you're supposed to have conversations like this. Say, hey, friend, is it okay? You need to ask, like, have the conversation. Is it okay if I date your ex?
They're obviously going to say yes. Imagine saying no, it's not okay.
No.
Yeah, some do,
My
no?
my friend said no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
there's
like
certain
if I
exes you just don't
cared-
touch.
Yes, there's certain
Yeah.
exes you're not supposed
Yeah.
to touch.
If I cared a lot about him, you can't.
If we're just
So why
playing
you
with
dating
each
someone
other's
you don't
time,
care a lot about?
we're playing, we're wasting time. We're wasting time.
Pushing life.
I feel like that's the problem though. Like you guys are pushing life with other people's partners.
Exactly.
Like this is someone's husband, guys.
So you've wasted
Hey,
the
we
pool.
don't
Yeah, like you've wasted
I
the
was
part.
circle
testing
is
the
already
waters
small.
just to make sure that he's not the one.
I get it for you to find your prince
You
or
must-
your princess.
You must kiss a lot of frogs.
A lot of them, not
Not,
one.
okay, not a lot,
But
but
just one frog. But anyway,
An acceptable amount of frogs.
yes.
Okay.
but okay, it's tricky though, because now you're finishing all the fish,
The circle is becoming smaller.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then now we can't find women in the church because you guys are all running away.
Running away, way.
Outside
to
of church, aren't you guys are saying
You
guys
can
can't
bring
jola?
me back.
Oh really?
Yeah.
If you really
You
want,
want
to.
me?
Yeah.
You can bring me back.
Oh,
I'm
guys,
not
do you
running.
guys? There's a chance. You can bring
Wait,
them back.
wait. Question: do you prefer dating inside or outside?
Personally, inside. It just makes it easier.
Navigating, right?
Yeah, like someone wants to go on a date on a Saturday. I'm just like, no, I'm not available. Just like, now she's gonna make you choose between God and her.
Yeah.
And we know where that ends.
But
Oh,
do
at
you
least
guys actually think about the temptations of Mjolo? We have to talk about those as well.
They within both outside
Yeah.
and inside, guys.
so
Let's not
would
even lie.
sex be a problem inside?
Definitely.
Wow.
Wait, what do you mean a problem?
Like,
Like
is,
qualify the point.
is it sinful?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely it's sinful anyway.
Anyway, guys.
It's sinful anyway. It's
The
not like it's gonna
problems.
change.
I'm telling you, inside and outside, they're the same.
Hey.
I don't think so. There's a difference in the, let's say, if you're inside and you're with someone who's inside, you have core beliefs and then you can maybe say, no, we believe this, and this.
True.
Unless you're inside just playing around. But if you are
Until that's what
outside,
we're doing.
they won't understand. It's like, you're my girlfriend. Why can't we
Yeah.
sleep
One, two,
together? Why
three.
can't we do this? And you have no leg to stand on beside Jesus. And it's going to be Jesus.
And then you find the ones that are inside that are already
But still,
who are
yeah.
already doing the worldly things.
I must,
Ne?
I must
Listen,
find
wait, let me finish. Let
find
me finish my
And
point.
talk to them.
You find them inside, they're
Yeah.
doing the worldly things. And then you come here, I'm Adventist, I 28 fundamental beliefs, and then they're like, hey, girl, I'm Adventist too, but I do it. You understand? That's why I say they're the same. The fish that we're finding here, us, that we are finding, they're doing the worldly things.
But guys must go to a different pond. Because
But don't you think the devil you know is better than the devil you don't?
Oh.
To a certain extent, right? Because the devil we know is the amen, right?
Oh,
We
yes.
know those ones, the blue suits with the white sneakers, with the tricotas.
Now
We
the
know
sneaker
them.
thing is a problem, but anyway.
We know them, right? And we've seen what they're capable of,
Yeah.
right? And then now we decide, actually, let's take a break from these ones. Let's see outside, you know? Let's just go, just check what's going on
We
outside.
get single.
And then you actually find out that the ones that are outside are actually treating you better than the ones that are inside the church. So then what must you do? You say, no, I'm dumping you because you're not SDA?
I mean, that's if you're lucky.
True.
That's if you're lucky.
That is so true.
That's if you're lucky. And that's like one, I don't know.
But I don't think it's about luck. Dating essentially has a lot to do with conversations. If you can have that conversation with your partner and express how important your faith is to them, they will probably value it as much as you do. They may not come to church with you, but they will be able to respect it.
Yes, and then they'll know, hi, Saturday.
It's a
Then,
no-go.
You must ask, hey, have you ironed your clothes for Sabbath? Then you know that it's the real
Happy
deal.
Sabbath, Mgam.
Yes.
But how long does that last? 5 years, 6 years, 10 years?
Yeah,
If
does
you
it last?
decide to be serious. And then after that, he says, hey, I want to go watch a match with you. He's like, no, I must go to church.
But
So it's things like that, the longevity of it. Sounds nice at first.
I disagree.
Okay, you've been.
You know why I'm disagreeing?
Experience.
Looking at, no, not experience. I'm looking at, I'm going to give you real life couples that I know
yeah,
in the church.
yeah.
Elder Khosi and Daisy.
Oh.
Elder Khosi was not Adventist.
Oh,
He's not Adventist.
He's now Adventist.
I only knew of Mr. and Mrs. Geza.
Geza, same. She brought him.
Yeah.
So that statement for
Doesn't-
me,
yeah.
that doesn't apply. If like they said, if you respect and you understand my believing and you saying, okay, babe, you go to church on Saturday, I go to church on Sunday, you follow this, you follow, and you respect it, I think you can make it work. Because he could be Adventist and still watch TV on Friday. He can still
Attend funerals.
on Saturday. Do you understand? It's the same. Think about it.
But you know the
Think
funny
about
thing?
it.
They always talk about the ones that came in. What about the ones that went out?
like 500.
The ones
of them.
that got taken out.
I
Of
get
our
it. I get it.
church.
That's
Yeah,
where,
like you
that's
married
where you
someone that
speak.
was outside of church. Then because of your partner, whatever, you couldn't just like hold on.
I don't.
That's why
I'm
the
not aware
conversation.
of those ones.
Yes, but
hey?
it's fine. They are the conversation. That's what the conversation in your Mjolo is. Who's going to adapt? Who's going to decide to take my faith? So somebody must take the faith. That's what I think. Somebody must sacrifice theirs. That's what
And
it
you know,
is.
SDAs are very stubborn. Eh?
Exactly.
So the other party must take the faith.
That's that. Somebody has to eventually.
But I think we are always advised as the SDA family because we know how our culture is. When you get married into that family. So whatever traditional things that they do in that family, you have to follow
Is this for women?
for women.
Oh.
So for a guy, they set the rules, they set the tone. So that's why we always advise to take within the church or be equally yoked rather than being
You know-
unequally yoked.
That in as much as that is so, right? You also, if you're going to get married to a person that is not SDA, you need to sit that family down and say, these are my do's and
My
this
do's.
is what I can compromise on,
Yeah.
and these are not. You can't touch me on these specific things, right? I have an example of a lady. Yesterday, I went to a different church, right? And the lady was telling us about how her marriage.
Testimony.
Yes, how her marriage, she's married to somebody who's of a different religion and she's SDA, right? And they've been married for a good 28 years. And everybody respects their individual religions. So you can live your whole life without having to convert that person if they're not willing to convert. If they convert, great. If they're not, it's not a train smash as well. I understand.
But I have a question for that. I mean, what happens to the kids?
Can I bring it closer? Let me bring it closer. I'm an example of that.
Example of?
That my dad
Exactly that.
Exactly. My dad is not Adventist. He's Lutheran. My mom is Adventist, right? They had a conversation and said, "Which one do you want the kids to follow?"
Yeah.
We all decided to be Adventist.
So when you were young,
We're all young, obviously. I went to Lutheran church. I went and I sat there and I praised and worshiped. But personally, I then thought, okay, I like this one more. Then I went there. So they gave us a choice. We would see.
decide.
This is what we. So they're gonna say, obviously, when you're young, you don't have a choice but to go to both. If my dad, but on Saturday I knew I was always gonna go. Some Sundays my dad didn't go, so I did not go to church. But when we were back home in Vanda, we would go constantly. So it's a thing of, I feel like as partners, you sit down and say, I'm Lutheran, I'm Adventist. Okay, we'll choose, and then along the line, the kids must choose. So we chose eventually. And he hasn't, and when I say we chose, when we said, Daddy, please drop me off at church, okay. At 9 o'clock, you say, you're still here. Hey, church has started, you understand?
Oh,
so
wow.
you understand? So
Yeah.
I think it's a conversation you need to have as partners and with your kids.
Okay, I think with this conversation, there has to be a distinction between description, what is done or what was done, versus prescription, what is to be done or what must be done. Because if your example worked out well, but then if I think of the example that my mom went through, who had two people who had completely different beliefs, it trickled down all the way to us, where you're not sure whether you should follow the more traditional African beliefs or you should follow more the Christian things. So there's that confusion that slipped down all the way through my mom and then to us, where we have to decide. Now you have three siblings, two are Adventist, one is not Adventist and they believe in more the African traditional. So yes, that's the description, and these are two stories, one success, one not successful. But I think the question we should also solve is this something to be done versus is this something that was done and worked out? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Mjolo. I've been with a partner whereby you can say he's a Seventh-day Adventist backslider because his dad was a Roman Catholic, his mom Seventh-day Adventist. So on Saturday, they would go to Sabbath. Sunday, they would go to church again. So imagine your whole life from 1 to 13, you're going Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't have kids, basically. So by the time they got to 13, they were like, listen, mom and dad, we can't do this all our lives. It's not going to work. So they don't believe at all.
But the problem is with us, we want the ideal. I want to walk in with my husband. If he's not Adventist, I lose away from that.
I mean, it's nice to walk in with your husband or with
Your wife.
with your wife, you know, because it always looks good. You know, people can, you know, what's the word? Not
Look at you.
Look up to you. Oh, look up to you. You know, you're setting a good example. It also feels good. I hope it does. I'm not married, but it's tricky. I feel like if you're going to do it, you must know the consequences that come with it. Like, just don't go in blindfolded and be like, no, love. Nah, love is not going to cover everything. So if you're going to do it, you must know what comes with it. Because it's tough. As much as it might have success stories, I'm sure your mom has times where it was troubling and it was tough, you know? So it's not always rocky. No, I'm also not saying that if you marry an SDA guy, we're all perfect. But like, it's quite easier. In terms of belief, it's a bit easier to navigate life. The hard-wise, that's a whole different issue.
That's the thing. What if you're praying, right? And then you're praying, you're saying, God, I am ready for this. Bring that man to be, right? And he brings the man, he's not Adventist. Now I must not take him because of, he's not Adventist, he's not going to believe. Understand? It's quite tricky. It's quite tricky. Matters of the heart, guys.
Hey, that's a topic between you and God, eh?
Exactly.
No, guys, this is such an amazing topic. I think like when we start discussing, I was a little bit all over the place, and I see there's a lot to cover. And I don't think we can cover everything in this episode. But for now, we would just like to bring in some guests. This is our youngest couple in the church.
Not really. Second, youngest.
Second, which one is the youngest?
Katlego
Katlego.
and Lebo. Yeah.
Kami Katlego is how old?
You mean something?
They're a week old.
Oh, okay. So obviously, this is such a beautiful, amazing couple that it felt good to receive an invite from the youth side. It's been a while since
It's been
one
a
of
while,
us.
guys.
Yeah,
One of us.
get married, guys.
And they were dating for long, ne? They were dating for long.
3 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a relatively.
That's
That-
long
that
in
is
this
long.
day and age.
I
Yeah.
mean, 6 months is long.
Yo, celebration anniversary, baby.
2 weeks is long. You know, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 years is quite long.
It's quite a long time, and that's why we have decided to call upon this couple because of such experience that they have and such love that they carry for each other. I mean, like we used to call him Mr. Yellow because
Yeah.
they had to date under the carpets.
Yeah, they
Without-
wanted it a private, intimate thing.
But do you
We
think
didn't know they were
private-
dating.
Really?
Yeah, until like, I think earlier this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now
She
they were
was,
good
she,
at
it works.
no, it works because she literally would say, I have a boyfriend. He's Adventist, he goes to our church, but we didn't know who it was.
Wow.
I knew on the day of the wedding who he was.
You see?
On the day.
Yeah, it was their thing.
No, let's
think
give
I'm
them
gonna
a
do
ring.
that.
Let's give them a ring.
Mr. and Mrs. Yellow.
Mr. and Mrs. Yellow. You've guessed it right. We are calling Hazel and Mavi.
Just waiting for them to connect. Okay, but before they connect, what do you think about people that go out and... Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
We're good, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, Hazel, how did you know he was the
Yes.
one?
You've been waiting for.
I mean, the man of your dreams.
That guy.
Eh?
The knight in shining armor.
Hey?
My forever.
My Prince Charming.
I just knew.
I think my ex was also the one. I thought that too.
Okay, I'm serious now. Okay, with Mav, we had a lot of stuff in common. So yeah, he was the one.
You
Like we
waiting
didn't
for.
have to fight, we didn't have to argue. We just agreed to the same thing. So that was easy for me.
Well, he was ticking all your boxes. I mean, like, how many of us have a list?
He ticked all of them.
He was ticking. Okay? We have a
Yeah,
I
list.
don't know about that.
And I was like, okay, let's
Hello.
do this.
That's amazing. And Mavi, how did
Yeah.
you know she was the one?
I think for me, it's when we started talking more, because we met at church, right? So naturally, you'd assume if you've met at church, you kind of both believe the same stuff. But when you actually start talking, exchanging ideas and opinions, you actually gain an understanding of
Who
what
the
it is
person
the other
is.
person thinks
Yeah.
and what they believe. So when we started talking, that's when I started knowing. I think she's the one. And then we talked some more, and I was like, she's definitely the one.
Love is beautiful. I mean, for the
yeah.
fact that you decided to go for someone who's within the church, that was most probably the one of the bravest or the best ideas that you could have done for yourself. But one more question: did you ever date outside the church?
To both of you.
Yes.
Yes.
How were your experiences? Come on, tell us.
Can I go first? Well, do you wanna
Okay,
go
you
first?
can go first.
Okay.
Oh, you do it. Oh, you do it.
Well, for me, it's that we would find a lot of areas where our beliefs would diverge. Like it might be simple things, but if you say, "Oh, I'm not available on Saturdays. I have to go to church," she wouldn't understand. She would think maybe I'm not giving her enough attention. I'm not putting her first. But with Hazel, that was never an issue. She understood because it was the same thing for her. Saturday we go to church, so there was less room for conflict with Hazel than there was with the non-Adventists or people that were not of the same faith, because you don't believe the same thing, so there's just more room for conflict.
Okay.
And Hazel?
For me, it's almost the same thing. Yeah, people the guys they want you to go party with them on Sabbath, and you have to be at church, or they want to invite you to their church, and you already know that their belief is not what I believe. Their teaching is different. And then, yeah, also discussing, and then whatever they believe comes up, and then you put your own opinion on what you believe, and already there's an argument. So, yeah, so it was difficult.
That's amazing, guys. But a more sensitive question. Mjolo is nice, and you guys did it for 3 years. And it was beautiful to watch. I enjoyed watching it. But a more sensitive question is, how did you guys handle temptation? You know temptation of what, right? That is Tafatwa, by the way.
Well, for me, it was fear of becoming a statistic. I think that's how I dealt with it. It's not the best motivation, but
As long as it works.
I wanted I wanted the best for Hazel, right? I didn't want it to become a statistic, like us falling victim to that thing. So whenever that pressure came, I had to think with my head and be like,
Which head?
The top one. The one.
What? And you, Hazel, how did you manage?
I didn't want to disappoint my parents.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow.
I just think, oh no, I can't put them through this. So yeah,
Wow.
that was it.
So you know how all of us here are not married. I mean, you guys take away points, advice to us as we are holding on Mjolo.
And in finding that equally yoked person.
Yeah, it's very rough out here.
Pointers. Pointers.
you can go first. I think they're asking if you've got any advice.
Oh, okay. I think be yourself. Don't pretend. Yeah. Mostly be yourself and pray that God guides you and shows you the way to go. That's my advice.
I would say relationships relationships are about compatibility. So over and above just being within the same faith, find someone you're friends with, someone you can talk to. Be yourself. Don't pretend to be anyone. If you can be yourself and be happy with that person, then it's a good fit.
Thank you so much to the Mr. and Mrs.
Yellow.
Yellow.
For our viewers, why yellow? What happened? Why was it named Yellow? Or why did you guys name yourselves the Yellows?
Let's leave that one for another.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for taking our call. To the viewers at home, that is our favorite couple, Hazel and Mave. Makore. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's it on Mjolo. And I hope everyone got to explore the idea even more.
Before we close, I was listening to them and then they said you must pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must pray.
Let's bring it a bit.
Don't pray with one eye open, guys. Close your eyes.
Let's be practical, ne? When they say, for me, when I listen to when somebody says pray, I think you need to understand the spirit of discernment. When there's a spirit of discernment is there, then you will know, this is not the one, right? Because you prayed about it. So if the spirit of discernment isn't upon you like that, then you're going to fall for temptation, right? So, yeah.
Do we still have 2 minutes? I just want to say.
Yeah.
One of the things which one of them said was common ground.
Yeah.
So in the discussion that we had earlier, if you are actively looking for fights, then go for it. But if you sort of look for commonality, whether it's religious, personality, and everything like that, then there's something that you've already put out of the way. You haven't stressed yourself about other things that you have no control over. So I think that's what I liked that he said.
I have just one question. While Mave and Hazel were able to navigate the whole temptation part, do you guys think that a relationship can survive without sex?
It can. can. It can. If you're both willing to.
I get it. Yeah, you.
If you're both committed to it, then it
In
can.
the Bible, doesn't say anything about being equally yoked. It says don't be around people who are unequally yoked.
What?
Yeah, go check. They say Second Corinthians.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
would you do if you? Okay.
Yeah, you see where I brought it closer to this Bible.
I don't want to lie. Inside the church, relationships, I don't see them lasting. Personal experience. Me, I've lost out on a lot of relationships because guys were not willing to wait. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm stubborn. I'm willing to walk away and say, it's fine. Hamp.
That's a tough one.
I think they can and they cannot.
Oh. What are you saying?
What are you saying?
Their other head
Expound.
is too big.
I win. Which head is this one?
I think that's the reason why I'm not in a relationship, because I'm not willing to sacrifice
compromise.
to compromise like that, because the guys I'm meeting are like, hey dog, let's go. You know? Even the Adventist guys. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think they can.
Ish, our
I
Adventist
think
brothers.
they're disappointing us. I don't think they can unless they're equally woke.
Whoa.
Woked.
Woked?
Not
Wow.
yoked. Is that a new term? Equally woked.
I was actually looking for the verse that Ulona was just talking about right now.
Second Corinthians
6
verse 14.
I mean, like, it is a church podcast / not. But there's one that I like, 2 Corinthians verse 14 to 18. It says, do not be equally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? What accord has a Christ with a Belial? Or what portion does a believer share with an unbeliever? What agreement has a temple of God with idols? It goes on and on and on and on. What we want you to take away from this episode is that pray. Pray for your partner. As you're going through Mjolo right now, just do not succumb to the temptation. As Umavi was saying, we then become part of a statistic more than anything, and teenage pregnancy is a lot. We are going through the most when it comes to those things. So takeaway points are pray. There's nothing that beats prayer. Ask God, tell him all your cares. And remember to have a list. May I have a list,
Yeah.
Batung? And I'm not willing to
The
compromise
standards.
standards. Do not succumb to whatever the Abu Tabata and Mjolo are bringing. Guys, work harder. But so it is what it is. Oh, okay. Mjolo, your last word?
I already said it. It's the don't look for battles to fight. If there's an easier, take the
Easy
path
route.
of least resistance. So in that case, if you were to date within the church, rather that's less resistance. If you're to date someone or something, less resistance, so that you're not fighting for your life.
Nane?
That Mjolo is not easy.
100%.
It's not easy. The praying one is also a thing, right? Praying. What's this? The spirit of discernment is a thing. So you need to build your relationship with God. You literally need to have a relationship with God outside church. Have an understanding. Know who you are. Yes. If you know who you are, then you know that you're not going to compromise on certain things. And if the other party doesn't understand, then I get move. Yeah.
Tafatwa?
I think, okay, I'm going to speak to the ones that are not going to listen to us and say, I'm going outside church. Go in with your eyes open.
Yeah.
You know, don't think it's going to be all rosy and nice. There's problems in it. You know, as much as staying in church is also not perfect, going outside church is not perfect. And also, I feel like it was an attack to the SDA gents, also SDA females. are slacking.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, that's it. God bless and take care.
So don't forget to do the right thing. Share with your friends, share with your family, subscribe, like, share, and turn on that notification. It's us, Unfiltered Youth. We love you, and goodbye.
Peace.
Peace out.